You're listening to Convenience Matters, brought to you by NACS. We'll talk about what we see at stores and what the future may hold for our industry.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our latest episode of Convenience Matters. I'm Chris Blasinsky with NACS.
And I'm Britt with NACS.
And today we are joined by our good friend, someone who we've gotten to know over the years, Kurt Weigel. And Weigel's is a convenience store chain in Tennessee. And, I'm not going to do you any justice if I keep talking about your company because, Kurt, you have literally grown up in this industry. So welcome, Kurt.
You. Glad to be here. And yeah, to your point, I mean, exactly. It's one of those things. I've been working the business now for 17 years. But before that, I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was a lawn maintenance guy when I was a kid. I was mowing grass at 12. I was cleaning milk coolers when I was 10 or 11 years old with a guy that was pouring bleach down the drains and making my eyes hurt. So, pretty much doing everything. It's one of those things. Worked in the store as a stock guy. I've been up the chain. I've been a district manager, store manager, kind of everything. So it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, just to set it up for a second here, your dad, started your company, and working for your dad, I imagine, can be challenging. It would be for me.
It definitely has.
And I've met your father. He is within our industry. He's definitely he's an icon. Let's just put it out there. Your dad's an icon. Everybody knows your dad. Your dad has been one of the leaders within this industry to make it is what it is today. But I can imagine that was quite
it's
fun
a challenge every day. There's always new pressures. But like I said, he, I said we have a good relationship. He demands a lot, and especially with me and everybody else. But that's how we thrive, and that's how we do well. Because we need that pressure to make sure we're doing the best we can.
I'm curious what it was like being 5-year-old Kurt walking down the aisles of your dad's store. Was there kind of an awareness that this is my family store? Was it like, did it really did it hit you? Was there a moment when you were like, oh, wow, this is kind of a cool industry. Like, we own a store.
There's lots of candy.
There's lots of candy. Yeah, we got milk. We got all the stuff.
It's funny you say that too. I think probably the realization I had was probably when I was in probably 3rd or 4th grade riding the bus. And it was one of those things we had to do a commercial. My sisters and I did for our milk. And it was "Get It Fresh" was the tagline. And I got so ridiculed and so made fun of that whole day because I'll be on the bus going,
no.
So they were all just really, just making fun of us. And I thought, gosh, that's kind of weird. I just never really knew that would, be the case. But I think it was always strange. I never really realized it really until I started working and how great and how fun it is. But yeah, it was a neat time. I'll say my dad took me there all the time, and even the holidays, Christmas Day, I remember going to the stores with my dad. We go to, 5 stores before we went to my grandmother's house. And my mom was like, come on, Dad, we got to go. We got lunch to get to. And he just kept on dilly-dallying around. And we go in stores all day long. It was just like, okay, we got to go, so.
Was that just trying to touch base with the managers, making sure that things are going well, saying Merry Christmas to his staff? Or was there just always work to do? Imagine owning stores like that. There's always work to do.
That's right. And that's exactly how it was. He was always had the appreciation for the people working and thought we should do the same thing. And that's still lasting today. We work every holiday. We're out there in stores. We're congratulating our people, saying, hey, thanks for working today. We appreciate that. We're going to help you out. So I kind of stock shelves for you, kind of run a register. I was out on Christmas Day probably from 9 in the morning to about 7 o'clock at night because some of the stores were short-staffed, so I ran a register for 2.5 hours, it's what you do, it's what we do. We help each other and we're here to support. And if we're not supporting, we're not doing the right thing. So he's always taught me that since I started. When you go in the store, the first thing you do is you get, you do what you can to help. So that's what we do and we still do it.
I call that passion, I think.
84 years young, your dad is still in the stores quite a bit too. He's not slowing down.
Not even close. And it is passion, Britt. To your point, yes, it's a desire and a strong. That's all he knows. That's all he knows is the industry right now is the stores, and that's all he knows.
So y'all started as a dairy, yes?
That is correct. We started back delivering milk to door for a long time. As far as that goes, the dairy farm had all the cows, had everything. And then from there, evolved into the stores. Mainly NACS was what started that because my dad went to a show back in the 60s and went to a NACS show and said, okay, my store hours need to be this, and maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should try this, and got all the ideas he got. And then from there, it's been the rest is history, I guess you could say, because he's just been watching and taking advantage of everything.
stay on milk for
Sure.
a second.
Yeah.
Because you guys have certainly, fluid milk as a category in our channel is not typically, in the top 10 of your in-store categories, right? But you guys have managed to make milk as exciting as you possibly can.
Yes.
I'm not, you guys are both, just for the audience, you're both from Tennessee. You know sports in that area. I don't even know what Vols is.
The Volunteers,
Yes,
honey.
exactly.
Okay, sorry.
Come on,
So-
Tennessee Volunteers. Go Vols.
Exactly.
I know. Sorry. But sorry if I offended anyone. So I noticed that there's, you guys do a lot of specialty
Yes.
milks, and I believe there's one out right now that is blue, I think, for this team.
Well, that was actually that was a punt on the volunteer. The Wildcats losing last night, so that was Wildcat tier milk because the fact they lost the game, and so therefore we did a tribute to them by giving them Wildcat tier milk. So yeah, all their tiers. They cried when we beat them last night.
Oh, okay.
That's
Now I get it.
fantastic.
So yeah,
I had to
Yes.
ask because,
but we've had other ones though too. I mean, we had the birthday cake milk, which was blue as well. We did the orange creamsicle milk, which was really good. Was orange. We've done the the peanut butter chocolate milk, the strawberry milk. Now we're going to do a lemon cookie milk. Will be coming out soon. Tastes just like a lemon cookie, and it's going to be yellow.
nice.
Do these fly off the shelf, Kurt? I mean, do people can't wait for the release? I mean, you like Chrissy said, you make milk as exciting as it can possibly be. I've never heard of people lining up for milk, but you've done it. How did you do this?
Oh yeah, it's funny you say that too, because it's one of those things where I think people are kind of scared to try it at first. When you see blue milk or orange milk, it's like, really? But we've done a lot of good campaigns around it with Facebook and media and social media. It's made a difference, and billboards and stuff, and people are trying it. And once they try it, they love it, so it's a really good thing. And same thing with our gallon of milk, it's one of those things where people try it. We're not like every milk, our skim milk is very different. It tastes just like whole milk. We have a certain process we use that makes it different. And it's like an addiction, people love our milk. And we did a study to find when people buy 1 gallon of milk, the next thing they buy with that in our stores is another gallon of milk. That's what that.
Oh, really?
Hand in hand. So yeah. So I mean, people get 2 and 3 at a time. Some people get cases at a time. I mean, it's a following like no other. It's a cult. We're lucky.
As far as vices go, it's not a bad one.
Not at all.
I mean, maybe a little fatty sometimes, but man, milk is good for your bones. You got the good protein, good for the kids. Yeah, not a bad addiction.
Not at all. And our chocolate milk is to die for. So yes, we got. Oh my gosh, it's.
The peanut butter chocolate milk is pretty phenomenal.
Yes. And I think I'm going to try maybe do a Snicker bar milk later in the summer, something like that.
Snicker bar milk? Oh,
stop.
man.
So, yeah.
Stop.
Do you have to work with
Really
Snickers
close
on
to
that?
me.
Do you have to give them, do you have to tip your hat to their logo and talk to them about a collaboration?
Yeah,
How does that
That's
work?
how that works. That's marketing. I got to stay out of that whole thing. I do HR and all that.
Okay.
I just
Good
hire
call.
people. That's all I know.
So I'll just back up a second because we visited you guys for our Ideas to Go series, our video series last year, and got to spend a lot. We spent a couple days with you guys in your stores and with your dad and the rest of the team, and it's always great to get out and see you guys in action, right? And to visit and obviously we talked a little bit about milk. We talked about some of the stuff in the communities that you guys are doing. And one in particular is your work with the Rocky Mountain Service Dogs.
Smoky
right?
Mountain.
Smoky Mountain.
Smoky Mountain. Yeah, whatever. Say it again because I said it wrong.
Smoky Mountain Service Dogs.
There you go. So the great thing about that was, and it's going to be hard to kind of get this across to a listening audience because visually, just to see what happens in action is just so amazing. So essentially, you guys are supporting this group because they train service dogs for disabled
Correct.
veterans. And then once the dog is trained, highly trained, and paired with the veteran, there's this amazing ceremony called the passing of the leash ceremony, where the veteran officially gets the dog. And we got to experience that. And I was crying like a baby watching this because it's such an amazing and emotional experience. And you guys get to do this all the time because you're one of the main supporters of this group. And I know just from being around you guys that you could do this every day and the power of it is still not lost on
Never.
you guys. I mean, it's just absolutely
Oh,
amazing. that you're doing this.
We
for the
love it. I
community.
mean, like I said, I mean, why not? I mean, it's one of those things. It's a great opportunity for us. We're, well, I mean, lucky to be able to do so, and it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's a perfect match for us. It's a perfect match for them, and oh my gosh, to see the faces of the veterans getting those dogs, and just like you said, you can't put it into words. I mean, it's moving, it's passionate. It's just like you said, it's what it is, and it's a great opportunity for us to give back, and so we love it.
Kurt, how did you get connected with them? Did they find you? Did you find them? Like, how did this relationship just become this beautiful collaboration?
We had a agency that was working for us for a while, and one of the young ladies that worked for them as an intern had heard about it and kind of mentioned to us that there was an opportunity out there for that. And my dad was always big on veterans, wanting to do something for veterans, and it was a perfect fit. I mean, it was one of those things. They introduced us to the guy, and the rest is history. I mean, we got lucky. It was just a find that was right out there, and it just came where it is now. So it was fun.
How many leashes have been passed that y'all have been part of to this point?
Good point. I think we have done, we've done six passing of leashes, and we're waiting for Wiggles, which is our
Wiggles.
Wiggles. Yes.
How's she doing? How's our girl Wiggles doing?
Hanging in there. Still training left.
She's got a lot of energy.
She does have a lot of energy. God bless her.
No, so we're looking for that one. That'd be a great one to pass on.
Yeah. Well, one of the veterans who we got to talk to when we visited with you is Chuck Stewart, and his story is amazing, and his dog Sadie. I mean, just a beautiful pairing. And what's so great about that story is how, Chuck really credits, Weigel's and seeing your pump topper campaign to support, Smoky Mountain service dogs. Literally, like, buying gas changed his life. And he says that in our Ideas to Go video. So for anyone who's listening, you can watch this. We're not just, there is a visual, and you can kind of get, the emotion and the gist of everything we're talking about. But just such an amazing story, how just a local convenience store literally changed this man's life.
Oh, it's since chill bumps down my spine every time I hear it, because like I said, it was one of those things. It was just, we had no idea, until he reached out to us, and that was the story. And it was just amazing. We were so lucky and so glad to be able to help with that. It was just awesome.
Yeah, and it's not even a store that they frequent. Like, it was just happenstance that I need gas, pulled off, and here we go. I mean, just the rest is history. It's an amazing story.
Have you talked or seen Chuck and Sadie since the passing of the leash?
Have not. That's one of those things. I do see him and periodically in different things, but I don't get to talk to him much. But I wish I could, because he's a great guy. Great story and just amazing person. So I wish I could, but I don't get to see him very often.
Sure.
Yeah. So Kurt, let's just bring it back to our current state of affairs within our industry. So you do work in the talent part of the company. So you of all people are very aware of the current labor shortage and how tough it is for everybody out there. And just, for the sake of the audience who's listening, I'm sure they're feeling the pain too. What can we do? Seriously, like what? What can we do? If
I knew the answer to that question, I'd be the happiest man alive. Because right now, I have no clue. I just, one thing about this industry is we share so much. I mean, we go to the HR forums, we go to things that have meetings together to talk about these things and strategize. And what are they doing? And what can we be doing? They're doing, and we share ideas really well. This industry has always been good about sharing things and not shy about sharing things. And that makes a difference, because there may be a silver bullet out there that one company's used that we don't use, and maybe vice versa. We could share what we do. They can help out, can help them. So like I said, it's a battle. I mean, it's going to be a battle. I mean, it's not going to go away. I mean, this generation is just hard. It's a tough situation we're in right now. And I'm ready for normalcy. I mean, I know COVID's been crazy, but I just need some normalcy soon, because our store people are tired. I mean, they're working long hours, busting it both ends. And like I said, we're very fortunate to have who we have. I mean, they're great workers, but they can't work forever and work in this pace all the time. They can't do it.
Yeah.
Are you feeling that, is there a particular region that, or type of town or area that is harder to fill fill slots with workers? I mean, is it kind of easier in the more like city, more populated areas versus rural? Like, what is your experience? And like, do you just have to go out and run registers for a couple hours? Is that something that's on your list of to-dos these days?
Yeah, that's a great point. Because some of our areas like West Knoxville, where the areas are, there's a lot of competition. So our pay rate is comparable, but it's just a hard area to find because people in that area don't have to work. It's one of those things where I guess they consider themselves the elite and they don't have to work. It's like, well, you do have to work, but anyway, they don't choose to do that. The other outlying areas are tough. We're in like Sevierville and Kodak areas where, a lot of amusement, our tourist attractions are, and it's hard to find people, and it's tough. We're going to Chattanooga this year and we got to find people for there. We're new people. We don't know, nobody knows us at all. So we got to establish who we are and find those people. So it's kind of everywhere right now. It's really not just one area. It's everything, it's everywhere. And like I said, I just don't see it getting better. I mean, I think it's going to be hard. I mean, it's going to be a challenge. We have to stick together.
Are you on the road then a lot? Or do you just drive around to the various stores, not just to kind of keep up with what's going on across Weigels, but are you interviewing constantly? Are you training? Like, what's a day-to-day for Mr. Kurt Weigel?
Another good question. It's one of those things, it really depends on the day. I mean, it could be anything. It could be from here, recruiting, doing phone screens, to handling customer complaints, to making sure that we're, staffed right, to make sure we're operationally correct, to stay on top of training, to make sure we're doing everything we got to be doing. So it's kind of it really depends, Britt, on what the day brings. I never know, because it's never the same, and that's what makes the industry so fun, because you never know what you're going to get. It's a hodgepodge of everything. So you got to have big, just like I said, put all kinds of hats on and do what you got to do to survive.
Is your dad hard on you?
Yeah, a lot more. Yes. I think his expectations for me are a lot higher, which is fine. And I get that.
Good. Yeah.
It's good. He's gotten to the point now where he's so involved in everything that right now he's just not on me. He's on everybody right now, trying to make sure doing this and doing that and doing this and doing all. I mean, his hands are on everything right now. So he's very, very involved, which is a good thing. But I mean,
that's good. Keeps him young.
Oh, it does, for sure. I mean, if I'm still like that at 84 years old or 83 years old, then hey, let me do it. I mean,
I have no doubt, Kurt. You're going to be zipping around at 84 without question. And we'll see you at the HR forum.
Oh, of course, exactly. So I started 60 years ago. It was the greatest thing I ever did.
Right.
Kurt, you pretty much nailed it when you described your day-to-day. I think that's pretty much the day-to-day of this whole industry. You never know what you're going to get.
Never know.
It's, it caters to everybody. Yes. There's no one size fits all. It's a pretty unique industry for sure. So I think, you've seen a lot of change, right? You've seen some stuff not change. Just out of curiosity, looking back, like what do you think is one of the biggest changes that you've seen in this industry?
Oh, wow. I think two things. I mean, the size of stores, obviously, I mean, a lot of these stores when we started out were really small. They're drive-ins, drive-throughs, maybe like 1,000 square foot. Now we're doing 4,000, 5,000 square foot stores, 2 entrances, food service and all the stores we can put it in. I mean, just evolution of food. I mean, just when I was in stores, I mean, we didn't have food. It was like corn dog here, corn dog there, and that was about it. Now it's pizza, now it's meals, now it's take home, now it's everything. So I think between size of stores, amount of workers to run a store, everything, it's just all different, and totally different than when I grew up, mowing stores, mowing the grass for the stores. I mean, totally different. So it's a far cry.
So what's next? Where's Weigel's going besides more flavors of milk and, keeping your people happy and serving your communities? Like when you look at the future, what does it look like for you?
Wow. I think the biggest thing for us is just growth. We want to go outside our turf. We're trying to go where we can outside the areas, and try to extend our turf out a little farther because we know we can do that. Of course, it scares my dad to death because obviously that's kind of being out of his domain a little bit. But, I think definitely growing. We want to continue to grow, and build stores and continue to grow our product and grow our name and keep the business going. We've been 90 years. We're hoping to stay 110 years. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep going, so.
I like that. 90 years young.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, by the way. You had quite a celebration. It was last year, right? Just last year?
Yes, had a blast. Customers were winning prizes. Our employees were winning gifts. And we had a great time. Gave away 2 Jeeps to an employee and to a customer. Gave away a trip, some iPads, and we had a great time. I mean, it was just a lot of fun, So we were very blessed to be 90 years, It's not very often a company can last that long. And, I'm fourth generation right now, so a fourth generation company, don't survive much. We're lucky. We're different.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to keep going as long as we can keep going. That's our plan.
Amen. Amen to that.
What we can do.
All right, Kurt. So it's time for me to put you on the spot, even though I promised I wouldn't. So we have this new thing we're doing, right? Well, it's probably not that new anymore, but it's new. So we're doing trivia with our guests. And there's the music. All right. So this sort of, I don't know if this is relevant to you or not, but I'm going to ask it anyway. All right. So here's your question, and I'm going to give you 4 options, and then you can give your answer.
Okay.
All right. Which animals are the most associated with early convenience store commercials? Is it A, the horse, B, the cow, C, the pig, or D, the rooster and owl?
Wow. I'm going to say B, the cow.
Man, see, that would be relevant for you guys, right? Because the cow was used to promote the best milk prices in town. But the answer is actually the rooster and the owl.
What?
No.
Tell us more.
So that is to symbolize the early, late hours of operation.
The 24/7 deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I was just
the
thinking
rooster making a whole bunch of noise way too early in the morning.
I get it now.
Yeah. So, now you know.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah, exactly. Do I get a consolation prize?
And you can get on with your day with that useless bit of information.
Learn something new today.
Yourself.
I like that. That's our new marketing campaign, the Rooster and the Owl. All right, I'll remember that.
There you go. So, Kurt, it's been a lot of fun talking to you. You guys are 90 years young, and I know there's a lot that's going to happen with Weigels to come.
I hope so.
And we love seeing you at NACS events.
Thank you.
Like the NACS show and the NACS HR forum, which you've been very, very active in over
Love
the
it.
years. You are a go-to person. So congratulations on that. Anyone can ask you anything at any time.
Well, like I said, definitely appreciate you guys. Y'all do a great job, and we're lucky for NACS. You guys have spearheaded us, like I said earlier. Without NACS, my dad would not have been here, So, we're fortunate, It's been a great opportunity for us and a great ride, and I love it. So it's been a lot of fun. You guys are great to us, and we love helping y'all out.
Excellent.
Thanks, Kurt. We'll see you at the next thing.
Yes.
The next event.
All right. That's going to be something soon, I think. Are y'all coming to HR forum?
Maybe.
No, there's no maybes about it. You got to be yes or no. There's no fence on this. You got to say.
Someone has to let me go in order to go.
There's truth in that.
What'd you say?
We'll talk to our bosses.
Oh, let me talk to them. I'll take care of that.
There we go.
All right.
Even better.
Everyone, thank you for listening to Convenience Matters. You can check us out on your favorite podcast player to subscribe and download our episodes, which come out every week. We invited Matt Damon to be on this episode, but he didn't get back to us, but we're going to keep trying. And if you want to see more on Weigels in our Ideas to Go video that we mentioned, it is convenience.org/ideas2, as in the number 2, go. And you will see Weigels right there front and center. So thank you, everyone, and we will see you next week.
Convenience Matters is brought to you by NACS and produced in partnership with Human Factor. For more information, visit convenience.org.